love my brother, Matt. All brothers do, I suppose. But I still remember his smile the last time I saw him. The last time anyone did, for that matter. That was 7 years ago. He was always out there. Said he knew there was something in those woods. Something evil. It takes people that go a little too far off the beaten path. Of course, we all thought it was nonsense, but that didn't stop me from retracing Matt's last known whereabouts every year. Every year, I would go back to that place where my brother disappeared. It was like a pilgrimage for me, a way to keep him alive in my memory. As I walked through the dense trees, I couldn't help but wonder what had happened to him. Had he stumbled across something he shouldn't have? Was he attacked by an animal? Or was it something more sinister than that? This year, I came prepared with extra supplies and a GPS tracker. I wasn't going to make the same mistakes that Matt did. I was going to find out what happened to him no matter what it took. As I walked deeper and deeper into the woods, I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. It was like I was being watched. Suddenly, I heard a twig snap behind me. I turned around, but there was no one there. My heart was racing as I pressed on. I had to find out what happened to my brother. As the sun began to set, I stumbled upon an old cabin. It was in terrible shape, with the roof caving in and the walls covered in moss. But it was the only shelter I had for the night. I cautiously stepped inside, my heart pounding in my chest. The cabin was pitch black, but I could hear something moving around inside. I fumbled for my flashlight, my hands shaking with fear. As the light hit the walls, I saw claw marks etched into the wood, like something had tried to break in. And then I heard it again, a low growling sound coming from the darkness. I slowly began to back away, but then I heard something that made me stop. It was a whisper, a voice that sounded like my brother's. "Help me, please," it said. I turned around, my flashlight illuminating the figure standing in front of me. It was Matt, but he wasn't the same person I remembered. His skin was pale, his eyes were glazed over, and his clothes were tattered and torn. I couldn't believe my eyes. "Matt, is that really you?" I asked, my voice trembling with emotion. He didn't answer, but instead took a step closer to me. His eyes narrowed, and I could see a savage hunger in them. I realized then that this wasn't my brother. This was something else entirely, something that had taken over his body. I tried to back away slowly, but he lunged forward, his hands outstretched and his teeth bared. I screamed and ran out of the cabin as fast as I could. I could hear him chasing me, his inhuman growls echoing through the forest. I ran until I found a stream, hoping it would shake off whoever chased me. I stayed in the water for a long time, shivering from the cold. Finally, I got the courage to climb out and kept going. But I felt like someone was following me. Every time I looked back, I saw darkness and trees. I knew I had to get out of the woods quickly. As the sun came up, I found a clearing with a strange tree in the middle. It looked dark and twisted, its branches blocking the sunlight. I felt drawn to it, like it was calling me. There was a strange mark on its bark that seemed to throb with a weird energy. The air around the tree smelled bad, like something rotten. The air felt thick and damp, and there was a weird smell, like something was decaying, but not very strong. I knew this was the bad thing my brother had warned me about before. As I stood there looking at the mark, I felt something stirring inside me. It was like the evil was trying to pull me in, and I knew if I didn't leave soon, I'd be lost forever. But just as I turned to run, something grabbed me from behind. I tried to scream, but someone covered my mouth. I struggled, but they were too strong. I was lifted off my feet and taken deeper into the woods. I saw my captor's face. It was my brother, but not the brother I knew. He looked like a monster, like something evil had taken over him. I don't know how long he held me, but it felt like forever. I'd some things that I can't forget. I was hurt, hungry, and wasn't sure where I was. The worst part was feeling like I had no hope. I was stuck back in the cabin with no way out. The next morning I woke up and he was gone. I didn't know why or how, but I didn't care. It was my chance to escape. I left the cabin, weak and shaking. But as I walked through the woods, I felt something changed inside me. It was like the evil had gotten into my soul, and no matter how much I tried, I couldn't shake it off. The police followed my GPS location and couldn't find anything out of usual. There was no cabin or strange tree. Nobody believed me, and they all suggested that I had a fall. Since then, I've been sick. Doctors can't figure it out. I sleepwalk, have bad dreams, and my body's slowly getting worse. They don't know what to do or how to help. The darkness that took over my brother had somehow got into me, ruining me from the inside. I worry it might be too late for me. The sickness keeps spreading, and I can feel my mind slipping away. Sometimes I wonder if it's all in my head, if the darkness is just something I made up. But then I see the marks on my body, the scars that won't heal, and I remember how real it was, the look in my brother's eyes when he shared his curse with me.